Hello, it's Pam here again. How are you doing? So today's video, I'm reading some notes, some journaling that I have been doing in my little book. And I'm talking about, why am I on YouTube again? That's the question. Been thinking it over and wondering, why I feel still compelled to make videos when I don't really have the time. And I'm the kind of person who likes to do a really good job of things. So it wears on me to kind of put out this shoddy workmanship and know it's out there in the world. So I'm just going to read a little bit from here and we'll see how it goes. I really began posting as a way to say out loud how I feel about a lot of things. One of those things that I really wanted to talk about, but had no one to talk to about really, except for my poor darling husband, was teaching at my last school and why it was horrendous and toxic and eventually pushed me to end classroom teaching. I was going through so much frustration, pain, struggle, and I actually began watching YouTube a lot more because I was trying to get through the morning, getting ready, and the sense of dread and just kind of horror that I felt made me almost just freeze. And in order to just have, the something that to keep me going, I started watching YouTube videos on, 5 ways to know you're in a toxic work environment, things like that. And it really opened my eyes and it helped me realize I'm not crazy. There is something really wrong here and you don't have to deal with it. And I also researched a little bit about burnout at that time and realized, I have all the signs of that, right? So what am I going to do about it? The second reason was to process family situations. In my extended family, there have been some really painful situations, a divorce that's happened, and it has fragmented my family, my big, beautiful family. I'm the oldest of 6 kids, and everyone has kids. There's like 28 or 29 grandchildren. And, the dream was we would always be close, but this situation has fractured things to the point where different people aren't speaking, or we're just talking around things, and there's always the stress of that elephant in the room and people not seeing eye to eye on what happened and why, and seeing the effect it's having on the kids. It's just been devastating. And so because my blog is read by, a lot of church acquaintances, friends, family members on my side of the family, I thought, YouTube might be a good way to just talk about these things, but I can't really do that. I mean, I probably said too much right now. Anyway, the third thing, so those family situations were keeping me up all night or at night, worrying me all day. And it's still a worry, but I've been able to kind of remove myself from a lot of it. And so just gently and kindly created space, and so that I can live, right, without kind of, breaking under the weight of all of that. And the third reason was talking about personal things like burnout, life change, moving, different school, different lifestyle, coming back to my hometown, hitting the age of 50, just a lot of stuff, right? Personally. But even though I seem like I'm kind of vulnerable, I'm not actually great at being vulnerable. I don't like it. I logically think that it is not wise. And so, yeah, so there's this war, there's this push and pull that's always going on inside. So my point is, I haven't done much of that honest talking. I have talked about things that might seem deep or wise or lessons I've learned, but it's always very abstract. And I'd love to be able to just really share where a lot of those lessons have come from. But because it involves other people's stories, you know how it is. You have to be careful, or at least I feel like I do. I can't really be brutally honest, here I'm reading again, or say how I really feel. Though this YouTube is better than my blog in a lot of ways, because, like I was saying, my blog is read, not very widely, but, by supportive family members and a lot of, people at church that follow me on Facebook. And they're wonderful people, and I appreciate their support. But I can't be too honest on there. Another thing is, it's really hard to find time between, the last while, moving kids, setting up my little piano and voice teaching business, also doing the coursework for the school that I still work for online. All the stuff with fall, yard work, garden work. I do a lot of that. And because my husband works long days, not because he's lazy. What else? Oh, preparing and advertising the suite for rent. It's not easy to make time, but it is possible. It's just deciding what I can handle and where I'm going to push myself too far, too much. And then when the students come in the afternoon for lessons, sometimes I'm just exhausted and depleted. I need to be aware that a lot of the busiest part of my day happens, in the afternoon. And so if I'm just flat out all morning, from the time I wake up at 6 something, then I've got nothing left, right? So you can't heal from burnout when you're pushing yourself deeper into burnout. Apparently, that's what I'm finding out. Where was I? Okay. Filming, jotting notes, making a basic thumbnail, and posting a video is far faster than writing. The blog posts sometimes take me from 9 a.m. straight through to 2 p.m. And it's shocking. I look at the clock and I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm still editing this thing. I'm still, trying to figure out the photos to use and the captions. And, then you're sharing it and adding hashtags or tags, and then sharing it to social media platforms. It takes hours. And even then, after I publish it and walk away, I'm often going back and editing and fixing things. And all that for very few subscribers. So I've started to expand into Substack a little bit to see how that goes. Anyway, I digress. I've been told, and I know myself, that I am a good writer. And also that has been my dream. My longtime dream has been to write, to be a writer, to write a book. But I need to bring in income now, not potential income years ahead. But still, in the back of my mind, I feel like a lot of what I'm doing is kind of like laying the groundwork for what I want to say, and kind of testing the waters a little bit of how to do that. But because life is still so busy, I don't have, I'm the kind of person that needs a lot of time. Like I need like a whole day with nothing else to do but write and maybe make a meal or two, to really get into that mindset, that focus. So yeah. However, I feel stuck. And I feel stuck because even though I'm writing and filming my little chats on here and writing the blog, I'm not really saying what I really need to say. In my view, like anything super important, either I have to embrace radical acceptance, like I'm trying to radically accept that this annoying reflection on my glasses is driving me insane, but I like to film in front of a window so you can have natural light. Anyway, squirrel, digress again. Okay, back to the important thing I'm trying to say. Either I have to embrace radical acceptance and radical honesty, or be content with how things are. Just be content with how it's going, with what I'm able to say, and just keep doing it. And I don't really see an answer right now. I'm not ready to be radically honest or radically accept, some things. So I guess I am stuck. Being a peacemaker and a recovering people pleaser and simply a logical thinker stand in the way of radical honesty. I distrust feelings. I logically know they will pass, and so I hesitate to share. And possibly pride, right? If there's some radical honesty for you. I am kind of maybe too proud. I don't want to be, but that self-protection and self-preservation can sometimes be rooted in a little bit of pride. It can be rooted in lots of things. Like I know there's trauma. I know there are reasons, but I'm the kind of person that I would like save a jar of peaches or pickles or something that someone gave me for so long. I would put off eating it for so long in the pantry that it will go bad. I'm also like the kind of person that I'll buy something for myself to wear and I'll wait so long to wear it that the season is over. Just a little odd that way. Like I'm always saving things for another day. And I think maybe I'm saving, my whole story and a lot of these deeper thoughts for another day. And I don't want to save it so long that it doesn't matter anymore. It doesn't matter to me or anyone else. I think it's important to share your story when you're thinking about it, when it has a chance to matter and make a difference. And I feel like I'm waiting until I am quite a bit older and there's no one around that's going to really care, and then I'll tell stories. And maybe that's what's going to happen. I don't know. I really called the channel and my blog Stories for Humans because I wanted to tell my own story in my own way, with my own voice, as a way to push back against the narrative that others have woven and still weave, especially when you return to your hometown. I have realized that, that just when you don't speak up, when you don't share, sometimes the story of your life is written by others, right? Or told by others. Or people just make assumptions because they don't have anything else to go on. So that's all for today. That's a long video already, but I wanted to talk through out loud a few of these things. And really, selfishly, I'm doing it for my own good. It's like journaling out loud. And yeah. But if you want to like and subscribe, that'd be awesome. Maybe share what you think in the comments. If you have related to anything I said, if you feel like others have told your story for you, or if you're feeling hesitant to be as open and real and vulnerable as you really want to be, or whether you're just content with how things are. So have an awesome day, and I will talk to you again, hopefully soon. Bye.